I remember the exact moment it all fell apart. It was a Tuesday. One of those gloomy, gray-skied afternoons where time feels like it's dragging its heels. I had just gotten off a long call with a client. I'm in IT consulting, which means my days are filled with firefighting and solving problems for people who barely remember to say thank you. But that day, I didn't care about slow servers or missing emails. That day, I got a phone call that flipped my entire world upside down. It was from my mother. "Jake," she said, her voice brittle but trying to sound cheerful. "We have some news. Can you come over this weekend? Your father and I want to go over something important with you and Matthew." Matthew. Of course. My younger brother. The family's golden child. The prodigal son who never quite made it back home, unless he needed something. "Sure," I said, because I always said yes. That was my thing. Jake, the reliable one. Jake, the responsible one. Jake, who paid the electric bills when they were late. Jake, who bailed Matt out of his car lease when he lost his third job in as many years. Jake, who sacrificed his 20s to work 2 jobs just to make sure his parents didn't lose their house during Dad's health scare. And now they wanted a family meeting. If I had known what was coming, I would have stayed home. I would have let the voicemail take it. But I went. Of course I did. Chapter 2. The Will. I should have known something was off from the second I walked in the house. The living room smelled faintly like lavender and mildew. Mom had a habit of overusing those plug-in air fresheners, which never really masked the scent of time or regret. She greeted me with a forced smile and a hug that felt too tight, like she was trying to brace me for impact. Dad was sitting stiffly in his recliner, his hands clasped in his lap like he was holding something sacred. Matthew was already there, sprawled on the couch in joggers and a hoodie, scrolling through his phone like this was an inconvenience to him. We sat down. The silence was unbearable. Then Mom spoke. "Your father and I have updated our will," she said, looking at me as if she expected applause. I blinked. "Okay. And we thought it was best to let you both know, just to avoid any surprises in the future." Dad cleared his throat. "It's all going to Matthew." I swear to God I thought I misheard him. "What?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "What do you mean, all of it?" Mom reached for Dad's hand. "The house, the savings, the life insurance. We've decided it makes the most sense for Matthew to have it all. He's still figuring things out. And you're already doing so well for yourself, Jake." My heart dropped. "You're kidding." They weren't. They had really left everything to Matthew, the same guy who once tried to start a drop-shipping business with their retirement fund. The same guy who called me crying at 3 a.m. because his girlfriend dumped him for forgetting their anniversary, twice. The same guy who hadn't held a job for more than 6 months in the last 5 years. I stood up, shaking. "So let me get this straight," I said, my voice trembling with disbelief. "You're leaving everything to Matt because he's a mess, and I'm being punished because I kept my life together?" Mom winced. "It's not a punishment, Jake. We just thought—" "No, you didn't think. You never do when it comes to him." And with that, I walked out. The drive home was a blur. I couldn't even tell you what streets I took. I just remember gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. My phone buzzed twice. Once from Mom. Once from Matt. I didn't answer either. When I got home, I sat on the couch in silence. No TV. No music. Just me and the realization that everything I had done for them, it had meant nothing. All the birthdays I missed because I was working overtime. All the loans I gave, interest-free. All the times I bit my tongue when they praised Matt for doing the bare minimum. Gone. I wish I could say I cried. I didn't. I was too angry for tears. But here's the thing about anger. It doesn't just explode. It seeps. It festers. It grows legs and walks into every part of your life. That week, I couldn't focus at work. I found myself rereading the same email 5 times. I burned dinner twice. And every time my phone buzzed, my stomach twisted. I knew what was coming. And it came. "Jake," Mom said in a voicemail, "I don't understand why you're upset. It's just a will. You have your own life. We just want what's best for both of you." Then came the texts. From Matthew. You're really being dramatic. Chill out. Didn't realize you were so obsessed with money. Maybe you should get therapy. Therapy. From him. It wasn't about the money. Not really. It was about respect. It was about the fact that I had been the family's emotional and financial backbone for a decade, and they discarded me like I was just convenient. So I did the only thing that made. I stopped paying. They noticed fast. The first call came from Dad. Hey son, the water bill didn't go through this month. Did you forget to set it up again? No, I didn't forget, I said flatly. A long pause. Oh. So what's going on? I'm not paying your bills anymore. Silence again. I see. That was it. No apology, no discussion. Just a cold, uncomfortable silence, like he was waiting for me to change my mind. I didn't. A week later, I got a Facebook message from Aunt Karen. Hi, honey. Your mom told me you're going through something. Just know your family loves you. The guilt train had officially left the station. Then came the subtweets. Matt posted one of those cringe, family isn't always blood memes. Mom posted a Bible verse about forgiveness and honoring thy parents. Dad liked both. I was being publicly painted as the villain. But here's the twist. I didn't care. Because for the first time in years, I felt free. No more 2 a.m. money transfers. No more emergency Ubers for a drunk Matt who lost his wallet again. No more pretending I was okay with being the backup plan. And that terrified them. Because without me, the scaffolding collapsed. I lasted a month before they got desperate. Mom showed up at my apartment unannounced. She was holding a Tupperware container of lasagna like that was going to fix anything. I just want to talk, she said. I let her in. Mistake number 1. She sat down, looked around and said, You've done well for yourself. This place is nice. Thanks. I wish we could go back to how things were. I stayed quiet. Jake, honey. You know Matthew's not as strong as you. He needs the support. You're the older brother. You've always been the rock. That's the problem, I said. You all leaned so hard on me you never noticed I was cracking. She blinked, stunned. I don't think she'd ever heard me raise my voice, let alone tell her the truth. And for the first time, I saw it. Not just guilt, fear. Fear that their safety net had finally cut the rope. I walked her to the door. You chose your favorite, I said. Now live with him. The turning point came 2 weeks later. I logged onto Facebook and saw yet another post from Matt. This one was tagged with both our parents. Some people love only when it's convenient. Others show up when it matters. Family isn't who pays your bills, it's who sticks around. That was it. I snapped. I opened my notes app and I started writing. Every loan, every hospital bill, every late-night phone call, every sacrificed vacation, promotion, and personal milestone. I wrote it all out, from the first check I signed at 22 to the night I found out my parents had erased me from their will. I titled the post, The Truth About My Family, and I hit post. The response was nuclear. My inbox exploded. Messages from friends, co-workers, distant cousins. Some were shocked, some were supportive. A few were angry. Matt deleted his account for a week. Mom called me in tears. How could you do this to us? You embarrassed the family. You embarrassed yourselves, I replied. I just told the truth. Dad texted me one sentence. You've made your point. But that wasn't the point. Not really. The point was that I was done living in silence. After the post went viral, at least in my world, I expected to feel relieved. But relief doesn't come easy when your phone won't stop buzzing. Your brother is calling you a traitor, and your own mother has blocked you on Facebook. The irony? I wasn't even looking for sympathy. I didn't want people to take sides. I just wanted the truth out. But the truth, once unleashed, has a way of dragging everything else with it. Memories flooded back. Ugly ones. Ones I thought I had buried under years of, it's fine, and they mean well. Like the time I was 12 and Matthew accidentally broke my Nintendo. I got grounded for yelling. He got ice cream because he didn't mean it. Or when I graduated college with honors, and they missed my ceremony because Matt had a stomach bug. Or my 30th birthday, when they called to wish me well, but hung up after 2 minutes to go help Matt move into yet another apartment he couldn't afford. I wasn't just their backup plan. I was the invisible son. You never know how fragile a family is until you stop pretending. That's what I learned, because once I stopped pretending everything was okay, my entire family fractured like glass under pressure. Some cousins reached out privately. I always thought it was weird how they treated Matt. Others stayed silent, watching the fallout like spectators at a train wreck. Matt, of course, doubled down. He went on Instagram Live and cried. Said he was being emotionally abused by his jealous older brother. Claimed he had been trying to heal the family, but I was vindictive and obsessed with money. Money. This, from the guy who once asked me to co-sign a loan he used to buy a $1,200 gaming chair. But the worst part wasn't the lies, it was how convincing he sounded. Because Matt has always had one talent, playing the victim, and for the first time, I wasn't cleaning up his mess. That's when the guilt trips reached full throttle. Voicemails from Mom. Jake, your father's not sleeping. He's worried sick. I hope you're happy. I can't believe you'd air our dirty laundry online. We raised you better than this. I hope one day when you have kids, you'll understand what it means to make hard choices. That last one nearly broke me, because she was right. I didn't have kids. But if I did, I knew I'd never treat them the way they treated me. I wouldn't weaponize love or keep score. I wouldn't build one child up while sacrificing the other. That's when it hit me. I wasn't the broken one. They were. Chapter 11. The Visit. 3 months after the post, they asked to meet. Neutral ground. A diner halfway between my place and theirs. I went. Not because I wanted to fix things, but because I needed closure. They were already seated when I arrived. Mom had dressed up. Dad looked smaller somehow, like the weight of everything had finally caught up to him. Matt wasn't there. Jake, Mom said, forcing a smile. You look tired. Yeah, maybe because I spent the last 10 years taking care of everyone but myself. She winced. Dad cleared his throat. We made a mistake. That stopped me cold. What? Mom nodded. We thought we were protecting Matthew, but we hurt you, and we're sorry. I waited for the but. It never came. Instead, she slid a manila envelope across the table. I opened it. It was a new will, split evenly. 50-50, no conditions, no surprises. Why now? I asked. Dad looked down. Because when you went quiet, we realized how loud your presence had always been. I wish I could tell you I hugged them and everything was okay. But that would be a lie. Forgiveness doesn't happen in a moment. It's not a line you cross. It's a road you walk. And I wasn't ready. Not yet. So I thanked them for the gesture. I told them it mattered. I told them I'd think about what healing looked like for me. And I walked out. Not angry. Just free. A year passed. I didn't talk to Matt. I heard he lost his job again, moved back home, tried to launch a podcast about navigating toxic relationships. The irony would have been funny if it wasn't so sad. Eventually, I got a text from him. I read your post again. I still think you're full of yourself. But maybe I wasn't the brother you needed. It wasn't an apology. But it was something. I didn't reply. Not because I hated him. Because I was done giving energy to people who never gave it back. Here's what they don't tell you about standing up for yourself. You lose people. But sometimes, the people you lose were never really with you in the first place. I lost a version of my family. But I found peace. I found boundaries. I found the ability to say no without guilt. And that was the real inheritance. Not the house. Not the savings. The freedom to choose myself. It's been 2 years now. My parents and I talk occasionally. Holidays, birthdays. It's cordial, respectful, but never quite the same. Matt and I haven't spoken since that last text. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't ask. Sometimes I wonder if I could have handled things differently. Maybe. But I also know this. Silence protects no one. And the longer you pretend everything's okay, the more you bleed inside. So if you're reading this, and you've been the Jake in your family, this is your sign. Stand up. Speak out. Even if your voice shakes. Because you deserve more than scraps. You deserve peace. And peace, my friend, is priceless.